Hello everyone, this is Ross from retrodreambeam. I'm an eBay seller full-time. I've been doing this with my fiance Netta for more than 3 years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm about to go into what we're shipping out today on Tuesday, but we are like super short at time, so I have to like go super fast. My fault, woke up late. All right, first thing is going to be this fractions educational like playing card deck. We've been selling a couple of the educational stuff recently. I guess it's just good to teach kids and stuff like during the winter when there's downtime. So we've been like I got these like cards and board games like a long time ago, or little kits and stuff. So I've noticed they've been selling the past few months. So this ended up going for only $3 plus shipping. This wasn't in the best condition, but it still works. You learn fractions. So all right, moving along, we have this Warhammer 40K 2008 quick reference sheet. I'm not too sure why I always have good luck selling these. Like they're usually just these individual sheets. I go, why not? Like I'll sell other like rule books to board games or miniature games. So like I always list those sheets, but they do sell pretty well. Like I said, this is a 2008 one. Maybe someone just wants the particular rule set during that time frame, and this is like a reminder of what was in that edition. But yeah, this ended up going for $13.99, which is pretty good. I almost forgot, before we jump super deep into the video, I sent someone a 1776 board game. It was supposed to be complete. I think I made a mistake while listing it. I think I used one of my old listings, this listing, to use as the basis for my new listing, and it was supposed to be an incomplete version. But I copied the title. You know, I basically did sell similar, and I must have gotten distracted and then had come back to my listing and then just like changed the bin it was supposed to go into. And I was like, oh, I must have already taken pictures and done all the work for it. So that's usually like why I like to sit down and finish the listing so I don't get distracted and then come back and make a mistake, because someone sent a message. They were like, it was incomplete. They were missing the board, the identity cards, and the dice. So I went ahead and talked to them. I said, if I can't find the pieces, I checked the bin first to see if they fell out. It was unlikely that some pieces fell out and the rest of the box was good when there was no like, you know, rips or openings in the box, but I was going to check. So I checked the original box. It wasn't there. I had 2 other copies of this, so I'm going to go ahead and send them these. But they also said in a message, because I was honest about it, if I couldn't find the replacement pieces, that I didn't have to refund the shipping. I was going to refund it anyways, but now I get to ship that out. It's still going to cost me money to ship that out, but at least the person will get the thing that I was advertising, which was a complete game. That one took me a while to figure out like what happened and what the mistake was, and I had to be at the storage unit to figure out. All right, continuing on with the video for the what sold, we have these lot of 30. These are going to be Renadra or something, or I can't remember the brand name, but yeah, these are going to be miniature bases. I think people use them maybe for bolt action or some kind of other. You can use them for anything. They're just like going to be 1-inch squares right here. There's 30 of them. They start as green, but people prime them for the color that they want. I've been selling a lot of miniature bases. People are probably doing stuff during the, you know, the holidays or vacation or the winter and stuff, where they get to stay inside and work in miniature projects. $10. This is going to a repeat buyer. Been pretty lucky with the repeat buyers. All right. Moving on, we have one of these books right here, Stolen Childhood, a saga of Polish war children right here, hardcover book. We got a bunch of these like books, like the military themed ones a bit ago. These are still selling. People are picking them up and enjoying them and reading them. There's a little bit of wear on like the dust jacket, but overall it's still like pretty good for the inside pages. This ended up going for $20.99, so that's a lot more than some of the other books that I've gotten for. All right. Next up is going to be Kaijudo, the All-Kin foil trading card. This is going to be a game that Wizards of the Coast used to, or I think they have the rights to it now, I think right now. But yeah, this Kaijudo was Duel Masters, which I believe was Wizards of the Coast as well. Eventually turned into Kaijudo. This is supposed to be an on-ramp to Magic the Gathering game. This is going to be a foil ultra rare. They have rarities and foils as well from this game. People like Kaijudo stuff. I played it when it was redone by Wizards of the Coast. I want to say it was like 2013, 14, or 15, so a bit ago at this point. But yeah, I ended up listing this individually. Sometimes I'll list the other stuff like commons and uncommons as bulk lots. People still play these dead card games. $15.74 for that ultra rare. All right, moving along, we have C3I magazine number 23. A couple of the sheets, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this correctly. Let's see, this is, let me have it in front of me. Sold a couple of these. So yeah, these are from the magazines, wargaming magazines. They come with a bunch of inserts. I think there's like 30 something different magazines, and they have a lot of stuff for these games. This is Chandragupta or something. So there's a player aid card. We have some insert rule sheet right here, and then we have some of the chit tokens for that. So yeah, I got a bunch of these like incomplete. Like it wasn't the full magazine with all of the inserts for all the games. I just got some incomplete stuff. But yeah, I end up like figuring out which ones go to which, and then I would lot them together. $13.99. This is also going to repeat buyer. getting really good luck with repeat buyers. Board game I never played here, though. Missing one piece for Escape the Curse of the Temple. This is just going to be like in little extra expansion. I think this game has a bunch of different expansions and stuff. So that, yeah, this is just a little rule sheet. And then there's like a big tile here. And then there's another, supposed to be 4 little tiles here. And then one of them is missing. So this is just, like I said, like one of those board game expansions. I never played the Escape the Temple or the Curse of the Temple, like the Escape thing. There's a lot of, it's supposed to be off of Indiana Jones and that type of realm or like aesthetics. But this ended up going for $9.44. Maybe it's not a big deal that one of the little extra tiles is missing. Maybe they can still use the other one. Sometimes board games are modular where you can just kind of like pick and choose what you add in and take out from games. I like playing some of those types of games where you get to like change what you want and get a different experience each time. All right, next up, another like educational thing. 24 game. Got a bunch of these a long time ago. Sold a lot of them during 2020 and 2021. So this might be an old listing. This is teaching people about integers, positive and negative. So yeah, a bunch of these different cards. Basically like kind of like more interesting flashcards. This ended up going for $9. So yeah, people are enjoying the educational stuff. All right, moving along. This was a weird one. This is going to be a German shot glass for a soccer team. BVB is what they say for BVB. This is a 2009 glass right here. So that I think I didn't even realize I went there. So I went there with my dad for my graduation gift for college. I think we went there 3 weeks. I was looking for like dice and other stuff that I could just purchase and collect at the time. Not for eBay, not for flipping. I came across this when I was back home, my parents' place, looking just through stuff I could sell. I was like, I don't really need this one anymore. So yeah, this is like a specific soccer team for them. I think I did find some dice as well for this at like a little collectible shop that they had there for outside of one of their stadiums. I actually got to go on a train ride to a stadium where they watched like one of like this team play at the time. So it was really energetic. Europeans are really into soccer. So soccer is pretty popular here too in America. But yeah, that's a shot glass. Super weird thing. I think I spent probably like $2 to $4 at the time for that. It sold for 15. So obviously trying to flip something over more than 10 years, not necessarily worth it. It was just something that I haven't had alcohol in like probably like 15 years, maybe like a half of a beer or like a fruity drink once every year and a half, whenever Ned and I will like watch a movie and get like a drink at Trader Joe's, pretty much, because Trader Joe's has all those special, different like cans and stuff you can get. It's a good time when we do that, but don't really like drink, so I don't need a shot glass. All right, next up is going to be Monster City Planners right here. This is going to be like some kind of custom game. It has some cards and it has some like cubes and stuff. Really cool arts. This is not my aesthetic, but I appreciate like art and aesthetics when it feels very thematic. So when I picked this up, Monster City Planners, where monsters are attacking the city, there's aliens and stuff, the art matches it for me. So even if it's not my realm, I appreciate it, and someone else is going to appreciate this. $19. This looks like one of those like card games or board games I talk about all the time, where someone just has to have a little bit of money or do a Kickstarter. They might only make $1,000, and then the game's out there, and then they go on with whatever job they're actually doing. Not everyone has to do a full-time job designing board games. All right. Next up is going to be Star Wars Shadow of the Empire right here. Shadows of the Empire Part 1 and 2 cassettes. So yeah, I got these little cassettes. I remember a lot of people were messaging me, telling me that these weren't worth money or I had them too high priced or something. Get messages like that all the time. Once you have like a certain number of listings, you kind of just daily get like it's almost like people are copy pasting their own individual messages and just like messaging you about it. I just ignore all that stuff or block those people at this point. I don't respond to anything at all anymore. It's just a waste of time, because these end up selling for $18.90. And usually people are telling you like, they're not customers. It's someone just messaging you, telling you to change something about your shop, and they're not buying anything. They're just giving you, it's free advice, but even then it's too expensive. All right. Next up is going to be C3I magazine number 26. More inserts for that magazine, just 4 of them. So it's 4 of these sheets. What game is this? Andine Abyss right there. Insurgency and counterinsurgency in Colombia. That was a mouthful. All right, so it's four of these sheets right here. Like I said, same thing as the other magazine. They'll come with all these inserts, extra rules and chit tokens and promos and stuff, updates, erratas, changes. This ended up going for $13.99 a repeat buyer. Maybe this person was a combo order with the other one. Maybe they just pay it at different times. Yeah, it made noise and Lotus got jumpy. All right, next up is going to be Warhammer Underworld. It's got a bunch of these cards. This is going to be the Tooth and Claw Rivals deck right over here, which was interesting because I sold some. You'll see some later on that sold. This is going to a different person. I got a bunch of these Warhammer Underworlds, no miniatures. The miniatures would have added a lot of value to it. I got like tokens and a bin of cards. Took me a while to organize them. I had to watch someone else's video for an hour. I just watched someone who was teaching the game. I looked for a good video on YouTube to just really try to understand like what these players think about when they're purchasing stuff. I still wouldn't be able to play the game, but it definitely helped me be able to figure out how to like make different decks, and they do deck building and they like different factions and stuff like that. There's like, oh, it's a whole world to get into. But yeah, I don't know if they make new stuff for Warhammer Underworlds, but I went to a board game shop at one point and they were actually doing a tournament. That was like a year or two ago. But yeah, $8.39. All right, for that particular deck. Next up is going to be a 1959 Chevrolet Impala diecast car right here with like a stand. I passed up on getting a bunch more of these cars. It was from the storage unit flipper that I got the little diecast like police cars for. He had a ton of these bigger ones. I didn't think that they would sell well, and I was like, ooh, they're going to be heavy for shipping. So I grabbed a couple at the time, and he was like, you sure you don't want to buy the other ones? Like, he was going to sell them to me for cheap. And I was like, nah, I'll grab some, and then we'll see how they do. But they've all been selling pretty well. I think I only got like 4 or 5. I think they all sold. This is going to be the last one. I think $15 for this. So yeah, people, obviously that's not a lot for that, but he was going to sell me a bunch for cheap. I just thought the smaller ones would be better. So someone's going to appreciate that. People like car stuff. I don't know anything about cars, but I know people like the car stuff. So I get lucky selling it, I guess. All right. Next up is going to be Lord of the Rings trading card game. Old game by Decipher, I believe. This is going to be the Fellowship of the Ring. This is going to be a Gandalf starter deck. I made a note that I spent $7 on this particular deck, and we only sold it for $12. So after fees, it's not that much money. But it was a bigger collection where I divided up all of the stuff I got by the auction price that I paid for. So I know we are in the profit for this particular auction, but this one seemed a lot rougher of a sell, if that makes sense. So yeah, $12 for this one. People like Lord of the Rings. It doesn't even have to be people who want to play the game. There's a lot of sets for that particular Decipher game. There's like 20 or so. There's a lot to that game. All right, next up is going to be this Tycho Washington's Crossing Spirit of 76. This is going to be one of those little train cars. Do pretty well with these little carts. Yeah, this one is kind of has a lot of art in the colors that pop on it, like the American colors. This ended up going for $12.12. We still have a couple of those left, but Netta used to get that stuff all the time, and then she likes trains as well. And then we've been selling a lot of them. We sold like big ones for a lot, like those ones. What did you say? Oh, she likes being on trains. She actually likes real trains and not like collectible train stuff. All right. Well, I guess I technically said that right. I said you like trains. I guess I didn't clarify. All right. Next up is going to be 24 Stone Mountain miniatures. These are going to be like Roman soldiers with like some kind of shields. They were like Roman legionnaires. Where did I put the baggie? It was funny because I was doing the video. I don't know if I have it posted yet, but I was going through the storage and I thought I couldn't find these, but they were right there, right in front of my face. So I had to like grab them after I was done shooting the recording. But yeah, 24 of these. These are going to be fun for someone to paint up and use. I do really well with the miniatures, $10 for that. All right, moving along. We sold this one yesterday. So this is going to be Card Guard right here. Right here, another one of the binders. I took an $8 offer. It is a little bit more weight and packaging, and it's kind of annoying for Netta to ship. But yeah, this usually comes with like sleeves or the pages. When I buy these as collections or lots, they'll have pages in there. I take out the cards. If the pages are clean, I sell the pages. I sell the binder if it's like a good enough like brand or something that someone's going to want. So yeah, $8 for this one. Going to repeat buyer. It might even be the person I didn't check that bought our other one. Maybe they just like this particular binder. All right. Can you grab that actually real quick? I'm out of space here. I don't want to put it on Lotus. All right. Thank you. Next up is going to be a lot of wooden playing card holders with a dice holder. This thing's super cool. Someone like maybe custom made this and like painted it or tried to like put some varnish on it or something. So there's different colors for card holders. You just put them on the table and then you put your cards in. So like people don't have to hold their cards. I like holding cards in my hands when I'm playing a board game. I know other people don't. And then there's this cool like brown right here. It's like a display tray right here and you put all the dice. I even have some dice with this. This is how it came. I don't think this is for a particular board game. Like I said, I think someone like custom made this. Really cool thing. I almost kept a like dice holder myself, but we have a bunch of stuff. So if someone's going to appreciate it, $15.79. I also think it looks better in person than I did in the pictures. So I think they're going to really like how it looks when they get it. All right. Next, and if they return it, I'm keeping it. All right. Next up is going to be Asgard miniatures. It's like a little goblin shaman with a little spear here. Some kind of, we got in this like armory stuff. It's like made in England. But yeah, these are like the miniatures actually in their little package that would go on the little sprues or little hooks at a store. So yeah, fancy miniature maybe for like RPG or painting or a gift or something. $14.99. All right. Next up is going to be SPI. They have these weird like tray games. I don't know if that's official name or just the name I'm saying. So like this is, you've seen me have the ones with the insert where it goes like over the game. Underneath is going to be, there's going to be a map. So this is missing the map. I did mention that. This has the rules and the tokens. They come with the tray. The whole board game itself comes like this. It's kind of like a really awkward shape. And then like like parts of it become like torn because like the bottom part gets glued on. I picture that, but like they have to like re-glue it. Awkward shape for a board game, but people like these ones. This ended up going for $16.25. All right, next up is going to be a radio, and that I used to do real well picking up and selling radios from like different various thrift stores. She would know which brands that like the folks would still use in various stages. All right, where is it? Right here. This is like a Stewart one right here. We didn't get too much for this. We tested this. There's a little note for us that we put works on it. This is, like I said, an old listing. This ended up going for $6.50. So probably not one of our better radio buys, but we sold radios from like probably like $20 all the way to like some cool stereos we found in yard sales for like 60 or 80 or so. I remember there was this one time I went to a yard sale. I woke up and then I was still sleeping. I happened to be, I think I was going to like a gas station to get like a Slurpees or a drink or something. And there happened to be a yard sale. It was like summertime. I'm like, okay, cool. I stopped by. I grabbed a couple things, didn't find too much. Got the drinks, went back, went to Netta. She woke up. She's like, oh, you went to a yard sale without me? And so I felt so bad. I was like, we can go. It's like 2 minutes away, if that, not even. So we went, and then she found all the stuff that I had missed. It was literally, I remember there was like a couple of stereos and stuff. She like made a pile, and I was like, oh, okay, she's way better at this than me. So yeah. I just remember that particular yard sale because of the cool stereos and stuff she got. And at that time, I didn't want to trust electronics, or I didn't want to like be in the realm of selling electronics. I didn't want returns. It all worked out. All right, they were basically like brand new. The person who was selling the stuff had taken care of it since they were like a kid. So like they were in good condition. All right, moving along, we have this Bahamas little parrots keychain. I like to get little tchotchkes or little knickknacks and stuff. People do like them if you have specific brands or things that like, I know people like Bahamas, people like the parrots and just stuff like that. I'll pick up this stuff. This stuff is like super cheap if you make like piles at estate sales and stuff like that. You can get like baggies and just like get everything you can and just sit down and list it. This one, I only got $7 for this one. That's pretty good in my mind. $7 plus they paid shipping for this, and someone's going to appreciate it. Stuff like in those junk jars probably eventually do get thrown out by someone. So like now it's salvage. All right. Next up is going to be a lot of 3 Napoleonics. These are going to be, like, there's like a cannon miniature, and I forgot what the other 2 are. No, they're all just cannons. Yeah, 3 different. They're labeled. 2 of these are N1. Another one's labeled N2, or NE2. That's just like the label for this particular company. Do really well with the Napoleonic stuff. I have a good amount of these miniatures and have sold a good amount. So yeah, this is a combo order of 3 items for $37.97. All right, next up is going to be cheaper than dirt. 2 of these 2005 magazines. So these are going to be some kind of gun magazine right here, which we got a bunch of the fashion stuff. We got the retail stores. We got random catalogs. And we got a lot of sport hunting and then gun stuff. So the sport hunting and the gun ones weren't selling when I was listing them alongside all the other catalogs, and all the like the fashion ones were going like super quick for about average of $25. But yeah, these have been slowly selling now. So I still have more of the sport hunting gear and the gun catalogs or magazines to sell. So since we have been slowly selling them, they sell for a lot cheaper, but I got them relatively cheap, so it's not a big deal. $7.87. I like having like a proof of sale, meaning since like a lot sold and I've sold a couple of others before, that means people will be looking into them and will eventually buy them at some point, maybe if they want. Like, people are interested, if that makes sense. All right, $7.87 for those 2, so nothing fancy. But all right, moving along, we have a combo order of 6 of those Warhammer Underworld decks right here. We have Paths of Prophecy, Malevolent Masks, just more of the decks. Warhammer Underworld's already went into a little spiel. Beastbound Assault, Fearsome Fortress, Void Cursed Thralls, and Rime Locked Relics right here. Like I said, I got a bunch of these cards, so I'm glad that they're starting to sell. Like this was like what I imagined when I do a bunch of lots of stuff and have a lot out there on eBay. I imagine to get a combo order $62.95 for this one. So I'm excited about that, and they're probably excited to get a bunch of their Warhammer Underworld cards to deck build. Next up is going to be this Japanese Jet Li Hero movie poster. I think this is like an official Japan one. I don't know. I got like these not weird, just like I hadn't seen them before, just different like types of movie posters. I have occasionally sold them. I think I've sold some before we were filming on YouTube. This one only sold for $7.87, but that's fine with me. They're a little hard to store because I want to make sure that the corners and stuff don't get bent. But all right, last item for the day is going to be this little motorcycle police like toy right here. Is this like a particular one? No, it's just from like the 1980s. It must have been from like a specific toy set or something. It's still like well done and pretty decent. Yeah, it doesn't have like a company. It has like a little number. It says 624 to 627 on the bottom. But yeah, little police motorcycle. Got those with the other police diecast cars. Been selling them often. That one's going international, so someone's going to appreciate it overseas. $14.99. That's everything. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Hope everyone's having a good week so far.